Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 15, Text 1. Sri Sukavacha, Bharatasya Sumatir Namapitoyam, Uha Vaha, Kechit Pakandina Rishraka Padavinam, Anuvartamanam Chanarya Aveda Samanatam Devatma Swamanisaya Papisyaya Kalau Kalpayishyanti. Sri Sukavacha. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued to speak. Bharatasya, of Bharat Maharaj, Atmaja, the son, Sumati, Nama Abhihita, name Sumati, Yam, unto whom, Guha Bhava, indeed, Kechit, some, Pakandinaha, atheists, men without Vedic knowledge, Rishabha Padavim, the path of Rishabdev, Anuvartamanam, following Cha and Anarya, not belonging to the Aryans, who strictly follow the Vedic principles. Avedam Samanatam, not emulated in the Vedas. Devatam, to be Lord Buddha or similar Buddhist deity. Swamanishaya, by their own mental speculation. Papiyasya, most sinful. Hello, in this age of Kali. Kalpayishyanti, will imagine. Translation purport by Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued, the son of Maharaj, known as Sumati, followed the path of Rishabdev, but in the age of Kali, some unscrupulous people will imagine him to be Lord Buddha himself. These people who will actually be atheistic of bad character will interpret the Vedic principles in an imaginary, infamous way to support their activities. Thus, the sinful people will accept Sumati as Lord Buddha Deva and propagate the theory that everyone should follow the principles of Sumati. In this way, they will be carried by a mental concoction. So please repeat. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued. The son of Maharaj Bharata, known as Sumati, followed the path of Rishabdev. But in the age of Kali, some unscrupulous people will imagine him to be Lord Buddha himself. These people will actually be atheistic and of bad character, will interpret the Vedic principles in an imaginary, infamous way to support their activities. Thus, the sinful people will accept Sumati as Lord Buddha Deva and propagate the theory that everyone should follow the principles of Sumati. In this way, they will be carried away by mental concoction. Those who are Aryans strictly follow the Vedic principles, but in the age of Kali, a community has sprung up known as Arya Samaj, whose members are ignorant of the import of Vedas in the Parampara system. They decry all bona fide acharyas and pose themselves as real followers of the Vedic principles. But in fact, such non-Aryans do not follow the Vedic principles. philosophers, another group of non-Aryans are known as Jains, who are referred to in the present verse. Not only do they not follow Vedic principles, they have no relationship with Lord Buddha, though they claim to. Imitating the behavior of Sumati, they claim to be the descendants of Rishabdev. Those who are Vaishnavas carefully avoid the company because they are ignorant of the path of Vedas. In the Bhagavad Gita 15:15, Krishna says, Vedas sarve aham eva vedya. The real purpose of Vedas is to understand me. This is the injunction of all Vedic literatures. One who does not know the greatness of Lord Krishna cannot be accepted as an Aryan. Lord Buddha, an incarnation of Lord Krishna, adopted a particular means to propagate the philosophy of Bhagavad Dharma. He preached almost exclusively among atheists. Atheists do not want any God, and Lord Buddha therefore said there is no God, but he adopted the means to instruct his followers for their benefit. Therefore, he preached the duplicious way, saying that there is no God. Nonetheless, he himself is an incarnation of God. ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदामयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सागररत्नानिकं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् श्रीशर्मान्तं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकानन्द राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी सर्वाङ्गसुते देवी नमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णकृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So now we are starting a new chapter, the Srimad Bhagavatam 5:15:1. So what is the Srimad Bhagavatam is divided into 10 subject matters. Atra Sarga Visharga Sthanam Poshanam Bhutayah Manantara Isha Anukata Ashraya Mukti Mukti let's go to the verses. So 2:1 is Atra Sarga Visharga Sthanam Poshanam Bhutayah Manmantareshanukata Nirodha Mukti Ashraya. 10 subjects of the Srimad Bhagavatam is explained. So Sarga Visharga is the creation and the secondary creation, right? That is coming in the third canto, fourth canto. The first two cantos is like an introduction to the subject matter of the Bhagavatam. Sthanam. So now we are in Sthanam. Sthanam refers to the planetary systems. Fifth canto. So if you look at fifth canto, we don't have anything about planetary system from 5:16 onwards. 5:16 to 5:26 is everything. We will go into full for the universe. It's not going to be easy subject matter. So 5:1 to 5:15 we are covering the whole lineage of Maharaj Priyavrata. Maharaj Priyavrata begins. So Maharaj Priyavrata is son of King Uttanapad, right? The brother of Dhruva Maharaj. So now the fourth canto towards the end we are talking about Dhruva Maharaj, kingdoms and lineage. Fifth canto we are starting with Priyavrata Maharaj. Then we go into the sons of Priyavrata Maharaj, like Agnidhara, Maharaj Navi's son Rishabdev. After that, Bharat, I think we covered almost 6 or 7 chapters. 5, 8. onwards. 5, 8, 7 chapters covered just for Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj's story is very long, right? From his life as a king, from his life as a deer, and finally Jada Bharat. So now this whole beginning of this Thanam is covering this portion. Now 5:15, if you look, it will be a very fast chapter because it's just going to talk about all the sons of Bharat Maharaj. This son, this son, this son. It will just finish very fast. Then it goes into the universal explanation, planetary system. So now coming back to the verse today, it's talking about Sumati, who is the son of Bharat Maharaj. So we'll see the translation again, that he was the son of Maharaj Bharat and his name was Sumati. He followed the path of Rishabdev. Okay? But in the age of Kali, some unscrupulous person will imagine him to be Lord Buddha. So we must understand the path given by Rishabdev or Bharat Maharaj cannot be imitated. Extreme tapasya, renunciation. Bharat Maharaj, Rishabdev was just behaving like a python. You know how python is, right? They don't really search for food. They'll just lay one place. Something will come, they'll just grab it. So even Rishabdev was like that. So we cannot imitate this path, even though they were teaching bhakti. Extreme renunciation and tapasya, we cannot do. So some people will try to imitate. So if you see this sloka, 5:14-42. Okay, see, this is the verse. Tashedam upagayanti arshabashyeha rajarisher manashapi mahatmana nanuvartma maharti nirpo makshi veka garutmataha. Having summarized the teaching of Jara Bharat, Sukadev Goswami said, "My dear King Parikshit, the path indicated by Jara Bharat is like the path followed by Garuda, the carrier of the Lord. Ordinary kings are like flies. Flies cannot follow the path of the Garuda. And to date, none of the great kings and victorious leaders could follow this path of devotional service, even mentally." So, we learn about the story of Bharat Maharaj, Rishabdev, but it's not meant for us to follow. So, this is called Anukaran, Anusharan. Anusharan means to take shelter of the instructions of the spiritual master. Anukaran means to imitate. So, now, what happened when some people started to imitate this process, that's how the religion of this Jainism was born. Right? They wanted to imitate. So first, people wanted to imitate the path of Rishabdev. So what happened? We can see this sloka in 5, 6, 9. It's explained in the Bhagavad and the verse also. Sukadev Goswami continued to speak. Maharaj Parikshit, dear king, the king of Konka, Venka, this is all at the Karnataka area, Uttaka, whose name was Arhat, heard the activities of Rishabdev and imitating Rishabdev's principles introduced a new system of religion. See? So how this new system of religions? Why is it not going on? How these systems of religions are born is because so we'll see these new systems of religions. Religion, dharma, is given by who? Right? Who is the one who establishes dharma? Hare Krishna. Who establishes dharma? Veda Narayana Sakshat, right? Dharma is born from the Lord only, from Vedas. Vedas is actually the instructions of the Lord. But with that same Vedas, people concoct something new. Like example, now you can see in this verse, Rishabdev, this Arhat king, wanted to imitate Rishabdev activities and introduce irreligion. Correct? So if you go to another verse, right? In the story of Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, right? Prithu Maharaj was doing Ashwamedha Yagya. He wanted to do 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas. And Indra did not want to lose that seed of, because who does 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas will become the next Indra. So Indra doesn't want to lose the seed, and also he doesn't want Prithu Maharaj to get the fame of doing this yagya. So he also introduced a new system of irreligion. He dressed up like sannyasi. He came and stole the horse from the fire sacrifice. So by right, sannyasi is supposed to be truthful. Sannyasi is supposed to be doing for the welfare of people, right? But new system was introduced by Indra now. And actually he came, like that's why when, what do you call it? Ravana also imitated the same thing. People will trust the sannyasi, right? But here Ravana came in a sannyasi dress. He did irreligion. So using religion to do something opposite, that becomes irreligion. Understand? So Indra did that. Now this person called Arahat did that. So what happened? Imitating Rishabdev principles, he introduced a new system of religion, taking advantage of Kali Yuga, the age of sinful activity. King Arahat, being bewildered, gave up Vedic principles which are free from risk, and concocted a new system of religion opposed to the Vedas. That is the beginning of the Jain Dharma. This is how Jainism began. So Jainism, if you see, many other so-called religions follow atheistic system. So they believe in reincarnation. They believe that we should not be non-violent. But what is the goal of religion? If you see, Savai Pumsha Paradharma Yator Bhakti Radokshaje Aituki Apratihata Yenatma Shukrashidati. Now whatever. Do you know what is the temple? Temple laptop, no, what's the password? The Windows one. This one. 6140. So what is really dharma? Dharma is this Bhagavad Dharma. The supreme occupation dharma for all humanity is by which man can attain loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted and completely satisfy the self. This is real dharma. That dharma which gives you uninterrupted, aituki apratihata, uninterrupted service, unmotivated. Many people are going to temple with motivation. That is also not real dharma. Because there is still punya. You're coming to the Lord. It's still better than all this irreligion, right? So if you come in that way, this is the most highest level of dharma. Bhagavad dharma. But whatever is not, that's why it says dharma projita kaita patra karma nirmatsaranam satam. The Bhagavatam kicks out all cheating religion. Even the religion which teaches you how to worship God with material motive, that is also considered cheating in Bhagavatam. So what about all these other irreligion? Correct? So if you go to this verse also, Veda pranito dharma hi adharmastat viparjaya Vedo narayana sakshat. How do you go? F2 is it? And how do you go next? Yeah. So you see this verse. Veda pranihi dharmadutta uchu. Veda pranito dharmo yadharmasta viparjaya Vedo narayana sakshat swayam guriri shushuma. This is spoken by Yamaduttas to the Vishnuduttas. Because Vishnuduttas, Yamaduttas came to catch Ajamil, right, for his sinful activities. Then Vishnuduttas saying, what is dharma? You tell me. Because you are doing adharma now by catching a man who chanted the holy name of the Lord. Right? So Yamadutta says that which is prescribed in the Vedas constitute of dharma and the religious principles. Opposite of that, viparjaya is irreligion. Right? The Vedas, Vedo Narayana Saksha. Vedas are directly Supreme Personality God Narayana, are self-born. This we have heard from Yamaraj. Yamaraj is who? Yamaraj is one of the Mahatmas, spiritual Mahatmas. So this is the definition of Dharma. And anything against this, it becomes irreligion. So the Jain religion, they take some principles of the Vedic Dharma, that we have to be non-violent, right? But what is the goal? The goal, they said, in the end, the soul doesn't, I mean, they don't believe in the existence of the, it's almost similar to Buddhism. They think everything becomes zero, Sunya. So Prabhupada, we said, Namah Vishnu Paraya, Krishna Parashtaya, Nirvisesha, Sunyavadi. So the Mayavadis and also these impersonalists and also these Sunyavadis, they want to negate the existence. But your existence is Jivara Swarupa Hoy Nityare Krishna Das. You're meant to be a servant of Krishna and you're meant to have Haro Dharma. What is the Haro Dharma? Yator Bhakti Radhokshaja. Develop Bhakti for that Adhokshaja, Krishna. So now you may imitate the principles of Vedas. Like, okay, we are vegetarian, we are non-violent, but that's not the goal. The goal is to develop love for Krishna. Right? So even in the Bhagavad Gita, you can see Krishna says, Bhagavad Gita also it says, Adharma dharmamitiya manyate tamasavata sarvatan viparitamscha buddhir sabhata tamasi. Understanding, which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion, under the spell of illusion and darkness, strives always in the wrong direction, or partha and mode of ignorance. So irreligion is in the mode of ignorance. So they think that whatever is irreligion is real religion. And when we speak the real religion, which is Bhagavad Dharma, they think what we are talking is all some circular, some small sect of Hinduism, some fanatics are talking these things. You know? So we are labeled as fanatics. Right? Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan. So such kind of irreligion cannot lead you to the ultimate destination, cannot give you the supreme goal of life, which is developing. You will never be happy. You cannot develop true happiness or ananda in that situation of such religion. Right? And then we see another verse here. From the Srimad Bhagavatam. Being full of contradictions, all forms of religion but Bhagavad Dharma work under the conception of fruitive results and distinction of you and I, and yours and mine. Why is all the other paths having this defect? Why do you think so? Huh? No. Why anything else but Bhagavad Dharma is full of defects? Because the four defects are there. Brahma, Vipralipsa, Karanapata, what is the fourth thing? Brahma is the illusion. Vipralipsa, give me the Sanskrit. Brahma, Vipralipsa, Karanapata, Pramada. So Brahma means illusion. Everyone has four defects. Number one, you are prone to be illusion. Right? Pramada means Brahma means cheating. Mistakes. Brahma means illusion. What is cheating? What is making mistakes? Prone to making mistakes. Okay, we'll go there first. 7.1 Madhya. Brahma, Pramada, Vipralipsa, Karanapata, Ishvara Vakya Nahi Dosha E Sabha. Brahma means mistake. Pramada is illusion. Understand? Vipralipsa is cheating. Karanapata is imperfect senses. So material defects of mistakes, illusion, cheating, sensory inefficiency does not exist in the words of the Supreme God. So this is real Vedas. Vedas is the pure words of Krishna. Vedo Narayana Sakshat. It is free of these four defects. Right? So if you go back to this previous verse, sorry, 16. 1641, as we were reading earlier. So the question, the starting part already says, being full of contradiction, all form of religion, but Bhagavata Dharma work under the conception of fruitive activities, results. So why? Because they have the 4 defects. Anything which is concocted with your mind will have these 4 defects. Now this person here, so people are concocting what Sumati is doing. So they create their own paths like that. You and mine, yours and mine. The followers of Srimad Bhagavatam have no such consciousness. They are all Krishna conscious, thinking that they are Krishna's and Krishna is theirs. This is the real purpose of religion, right? If you see the what is it? Krishna, what is Sharanam Mama? Vallabhacharya Sampradaya said that. No? Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Krishna is mine. I am Krishna's. Right? This is real religion. There are other low-class religion systems which are contemplated for killing of enemies or gain of mystic power. But such religious systems are full of passion, envy, and impure and temporary. Because they are full of envy, they are full of irreligion. So all this religion has an envious nature towards the Supreme Lord. Because here you don't want to surrender unto Him. If you don't want to surrender unto the Supreme Lord, then you have some enviousness, right? Just like the Mayavad philosophy. They want to be one with God. The Buddhists want to be nothing, zero. Mayavadi say, I am God also. So you are envious of God, no? You say, I am same as Him now. So again, misinterpretation, irreligion. It cannot give you the ultimate goal of life. It cannot give you the ultimate happiness which you are searching for also. Right? So these are the situation of all these irreligious systems. So now today's verse is talking about Buddhism. So we already saw about Jainism. So actually, what is the purpose of Buddhism then? Right? If we go to the Srimad Bhagavatam, actually in the song, Nindasi Yatya Vidiraha Shruti Jatam Sadaya Hridaya Darshita Pasudratam Keshava Dhrita Buddha Sarira Jayadagadisha Hare Jayadagadisha Hare Jayadagadisha Hare, spoken by Jayadeva Goswami. So Nindasi Yatya Vidiraha Shruti Jatam. So what happens? People were doing irreligion 2500 years ago because there are several verses in the Vedas which allows animal sacrifice. But that animal sacrifice is not allowed in the Kali Yuga. It's only for the Treta Yuga, and they are able to bring back the life of the animal again. So people misinterpret those verses. They were doing mass killing of animals using Vedas. Now Vedas has become, instead of preaching Dharma, it became Adharma. So Buddha is who? Buddha is the avatar who appeared, Krishna avatar, Shaktavish avatar, who appeared to stop this killing. So what he did? Nindasya Vidiraha Shruti Jatam Sadaya Hridaya Darshita Pasu Gatam. He was having so much of compassion in the heart. Sadaya Hridaya. He wanted to save this animal, so he said, stop these Vedas now. So he had to deny that Vedas for the emergency purpose, temporary. Sometimes when the country goes into emergency, right? So I think 1970 something, right? India went into emergency during Indira Gandhi's rule. So the emergency situation is a temporary measure. It's not for all times. You cannot live in emergency. Like we went through some COVID situation. Are we still quarantined now? No, right? So Vedas is meant to give you the highest truth, but because Vedas is misinterpreted now, it has to be stopped. So Buddha came for that. See? So he preached basically atheism through the Vedas by stopping Vedas. Because now a child is so naughty, doing so much of mischief. Sometimes you just say, you stop doing anything and stand one corner. 1 hour you stand there. So how long you will stop the child? 1 hour you can, maybe 1 hour you can stop, maybe 1 hour also can, of course 1 hour also cannot. Our generation, yeah, we can. This current generation, you cannot stop it. So Buddhism is, in a way, trying to stop these sinful activities. But what is after that? What is higher than that? You see, first we go to this verse in 3:24, Tata Kala Sampravarte Samhoha Suradvisham Buddho Nam Jana Sutta Kikateshu Bhavishyati. So Lord Buddha, then in the beginning Kali Yuga, Lord will appear as Lord Buddha, the son of Anjana, in the province of Gaya, just for the purpose of deluding those who are envious of the faithful thieves. So how he cheated these people? He preached atheism. He said there is no God, forget about this animal killing, stop this process. Just follow what I'm teaching you. So in how he cheating them, because here he's saying don't there's no such thing as God. God don't exist, but indirectly he is God. So somehow you're worshipping him, the Buddhists. Of course, their goal is to become nothing, zero. But by worshipping him, you're getting some punya, right? You're developing some piety to again come back. So this is how this Buddhism was. And actually, there were two kinds of Buddhas who appeared. We go to this verse. Two 737. You can see this verse. When the atheists, after being well versed in Vedic scientific knowledge, annihilate the inhabitants of different planets, flying unseen in the sky on well-built rockets, prepared by great scientists, prepared by the great scientist Maya, the Lord will bewilder their minds by dressing himself as effectively as Buddha and will preach on sub-religious principles. You know what this means? Buddha not only came to stop animal cleaning. There is another Buddha who appeared in a different time, different kalpa of Brahma. So that time this planetary travels was going on. In the NOD is there. This devatas, whenever sacrifice is going on earth, the devatas always will leave the earth planet, the heavenly planet to come here. Like Yudhishthira Maharaj was doing so many yajna and all. So the wives of these wives of the devatas were feeling very unhappy. The husband is always separated from them. So they prayed for Buddha to come because another Buddha came to stop this planetary travel. Recently in USA, there is so many discussion about UFOs. They saw the UFO in the ocean, they saw here, so many things they are discussing. But 5,000 years ago, it's written that this UFO is already there. For them, is UFO, unidentified flying object. For us, is the flying rocket of the Devatas. It's created by the scientist, the great scientist Mayadana. So this is for the Asuras. The Asuras are also traveling by the Vimanas. So when you know Bhagavad Dharma, everything you know already. What the scientists are trying to understand about UFO, you already know. It exists. It's mentioned here. So Buddha wanted to stop this planetary travel. Because in the Kali Yuga, people are too sinful. The Devatas also don't want to come here. So when he preached atheism, you know what happens? When he preached atheism, the Yajna will stop. When Yajna is stopping, Devatas will not come. Right? So Buddha came for these two reasons. But whatever he preaches is not Dharma. It is not real Bhagavad. It's not the highest Dharma. It's actually irreligion because it's preaching to annihilate the soul. Can soul be destroyed? Can soul? What was? Huh? Okay. न जयते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता भावना भूयः अजो नित्यं शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने सह्यते. For the soul there is never birth, nor death, nor having once been, does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying, primeval, he is not slain and the body is slain. This is description of the soul. Buddhism aims to destroy the soul, negate the existence of the soul. How Krishna himself says there is never birth for the soul. There's never a time he did not exist. He's always existing. Sanatan. He's unborn, eternal. How do you destroy the soul? Right? But one question for all of you. Vedanta Desika, right? Ramanujacharya's Sampradaya. He asked this question. Now Krishna is saying in the Gita, soul cannot be destroyed. Question to all of you. Can Krishna destroy the soul? After Krishna told all this, right? Spoke so many things. Now question, can he destroy the soul? Question, just question. Can he destroy the soul? Cannot. What is it? Yes or no? Yes. Huh? Who says he can destroy it? Two only. Four. The rest says he cannot destroy it. Okay, then so you must analyze. When you say he cannot destroy, then you are contradicting the power of Krishna now. You are telling that he cannot do something. And then he cannot be supreme if he cannot do something, right? He can destroy, but he won't. So when he says the verse like that, this is his promise that he won't destroy the soul. Huh? Buddha wants to destroy, but he cannot. But he cannot. So Buddhist philosophy is, wants to negate the existence of the soul, and then that becomes cheating religion. Because now, if I want to destroy the soul, if I want to be nothing, then what matters of my actions now? Okay, let's say why I have to bother? Prabhupada said this: if your end goal is to become nothing, then why are you wasting time doing something? Do nothing, you'll become nothing, right? Why perform any actions in the world? So it's not logical. You see, why? So when you follow something like this, which is against the scriptures. So before I go to the scriptures, we must understand one thing: when the acharya departs, problem begins. You know that. Now acharya comes establish Bhagavad Dharma. When he departs, some problems happen. So this is said in the what is that verse? Advaita Acharya. You see, in our Sampradaya itself, this problem started. Pramattaye ta eka mata acharya gana, mache dvi mata haila daivere karana. At first, the followers of Advaita Acharya shared a single opinion. This is how they all had the same opinion. The disciple of Advaita Acharya. But later they followed two different opinions as ordained by providence. So this is the nature of material world. Always something will happen. That's why Krishna has to keep coming to re-establish Paritranaya Sadhanam in our Sarata Pustutam. Then you see the next verse. Some of the disciples strictly accepted the orders of Acharya and others deviated independently, concocting their own opinions under the spell of Devi Maya. So when you go against the order of the Guru, then you start a new kind of religion. Same situation in ISKCON, right? After departure of Prabhupada, they had a different opinion. They don't want to follow what Prabhupada's order. And then now there's two systems. One is our system who only follow Prabhupada's order, and the other system which has so many gurus, many also falling down. Right? So once you deviate from the orders of the Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, Guru, this problem happens. Ramananda Sampradaya. Yeah. But that is more of a philosophical difference. It's more on the Lakshmi Devi aspect. That is not the real part of it, actually. So even in the Ramananda Sampradaya, they also have two sides. Of course, some side, both sides also they have people who accept non-Brahmin also. The main difference happened in the Ramananda Sampradaya two sides, no? Vadakalai and Kalai. You see the Nama is different. So what is the opinion is difference is one of them, I forgot which one is who. One of them says that Lakshmi Devi is Jiva Tattva. Yes, she's consort of the Lord, she will bring you to the Lord, but she is Jiva Tattva. Another side says that she is not different from the Lord, internal potency. So the other side is more closer to us. Another side says she is great, but she is not. And of course, in both sides also they have this non-Brahmin thing going on. But many of them understand actually they are not supposed to follow that way. Yeah. So I don't know which side follow that. But main philosophical difference is this. So now coming to the point, the order of the spiritual master is the active principle in life. Anyone who disobeys the order of spiritual master eventually becomes useless. So why this irreligion comes? Because now you disobeyed Guru's order. Once you disobey Guru's order, you create a new system which is a useless system. You understand how this is going step by step? It is becoming full of defects. And if you go to another verse also, 428. 428, 48, you see this verse. Uttishtuta Rajavishe idam dhadi megalam dasyubhya shatra pandubhyo vidyatim pandam arhasi. O best of king, please get up, just see the world surrounded water and casted stream. Purport, sorry. Yeah. In the purport, Prabhupada, right? So take note of this purport. Whenever an acharya comes, following the supreme order of the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and all his representatives, he established the principles of religion as enunciated in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So Krishna, how he established religion? He will speak Shastra. So Shastra is the basis of Dharma. What is the verse? 16:23. Ya sastra vidin mustrijya vartate kama kartaha. Nasa siddhim na apnoti, na sukham na param na gatim. If you do not follow Shastra, then you will not get the ultimate destination. You never get happiness, you never get peace also. Because Shastra is the basis of Dharma now. Okay? So religion means abiding by the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Religious principles begin from time one surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is the Acharya duty to spread the bona fide religion and induce everyone to bow down before the Supreme Lord. Okay? So what happens is, unfortunately, when now thinking of this is the part. When the Acharya disappears, the rogues and non-devotees take advantage and immediately begin to introduce unauthorized principles in the name of so-called Swamis, Yogis, philanthropists, welfare workers, and so on. Happened in ISKCON, right? Happened in the case of Sumati, happened in the case of Rishabhadev. When the Acharya goes, they concoct. Then also the Mayavad philosophy of Shankaracharya is completely concoction. To equate the Jiva with the Supreme Atma, Krishna, Paramatma, it is complete Maya. That's why it's called Mayavad. Right? So this is what the problem that happens. So actually human life is meant for executing the orders of the Supreme Lord as stated Manmana Bhava Matma. So this, another verse is there, right? Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Adi, Pancharatra, Vidignidam. Yeah. So if this is spoken by written by Rupa Goswami. The purport of this verse. Shruti, Pranadi, Pancharatra, Vidimina, Ekantika Hare Bhakti, Utpadeva Kalpate. Unless one refers to Shastra, Shruti, Smriti, and Purana, one spiritual activity simply disturbs the society. Unless there is a connection with Shastra. Unless there is connection, not just Shastra. Some people think, okay, if I read Shastra, I'll understand. No, you will not understand Shastra at all. It has to come through Parampara. You have to understand through the spiritual master. You know, you see this verse here. Bhagavatam. Satyam Bharam Dhimai. The last verse it says, Satyam Bharam Dhimai. I meditate upon the pure, spotless, supreme, absolute truth, who is free from suffering and death, who in the beginning personally revealed this incomparable torchlight of knowledge to Brahma. So this knowledge was revealed to Brahma, right? Brahma then spoke to Sage Narada. You see the parampara is coming? It's not that you just read the book like that, you'll understand. It has to come through parampara. The parampara is the via medium, the transparent via medium which conveys the message of the Parodharma. Brahma spoke to Narada, then he was narrated to Krishna Dvaipanya Vyasa. Srila Vyasa revealed the Bhagavatam to the greatest sage Sukadev, and Sukadev mercifully spoke to Parikshit. You see the Guru Parampara here? Unless there is connection to Guru Parampara, you cannot understand. So even Shastra has to be coming from the mouth of the spiritual master. So which is why our Swarup Damodar Goswami, he said this verse, right? In Adhya, right? Yaha Bhagavata Pada Vaishnava Raistani Ekanta Ashrekara Chaitanya Charane. Says, if you want to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, he said you must approach the self-realized Vaishnava completely and hear from him. You cannot do this when you're complete. You can only do this when you've taken complete shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, lotus feet. Right? Srila Prabhupada Saraswati, he says, Kala Kaler Balina Indriya Vairi Varga Sri Bhakti Marga Ika Kantaka Koti Ruddhaha Aha Koyami Vikalakim Aham Karomi Chaitanya Chandra Yadinadi Kripa Karosmi. What is this meaning? Prabhupada Saraswati says, Kala Kaler Balina Indriya Vairi Varga. In this age of Kali, very difficult. Balina Indriya Vairi Varga. My senses are like enemies. The enemies of senses so powerful, they are always pushing me towards sense gratification. Shri Bhakti Marga Iha Kantaka Koti Ruddhaha. Even the path of Bhakti, Bhagavad Dharma, which is so great, it is filled with the path of Kantaka Koti Ruddhaha. So much of obstacles and thorns. So it's not easy. Don't think if I just study Shastra, I will understand what is Bhakti. Prabhupada Saraswati, uncle of Gopal Bhatta Goswami is saying, cannot. Bhakti Marga is so difficult to practice without Aha Koyami, Vikalakim, Aham Karomi, what shall I do? Where shall I go? I'm trapped, I'm lost in this ocean. This is from Chaitanya Chandramrita. Then he says, I should Aha Karomi, Vikalakim, Aham Karomi, Sri Chaitanya Chandra, Yadinari, Aham, Kripa Karosmi. I surrender unto your lotus feet, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You guide me now through this crocodile-filled ocean. Because so many Shastra is also there, so many paths is there, so many religion there. Which one you will follow? You will say, I'll follow this, I'll follow. How? You need the, see, that's why he says, Yaha Bhagavate Vaishnava Restana. You need the pure devotee's mercy. Without that, you cannot understand Bhagavatam. You understand? Now, example, I'll tell you. This verse, you know, he spoke to who? Do you know he spoke to who? This is spoken to a person, a poet. So there was this poet. So you understand how this happens. Poet came to Swarup Damodar, and I think Baladev. What is the other devotee's name? Baladev Bhattacharya. Baladev Bhattacharya. So this poet, he wrote a poem about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he will not accept any poem which is against Shastric conclusion. So he don't waste time. Anybody cannot just come and tell him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, listen to this poem. You have to go through the vetting interview of Swarup Damodar. Swarup Damodar will see if it's correct conclusion, then you can present this. If it's not correct conclusion, you cannot present this. Okay. So this poet, he wrote a poem and he kept pestering the devotees. Actually, many devotees heard the poem and they were very impressed by it and they said, wow, this is so nice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should hear it. Understand? So one of the devotee, I think Balabhadra Bhattacharya, I think, if I'm not wrong, he came to Swarup Damodar and said, please you listen to him. Swarup Damodar said, no, I don't want to. Swarup Damodar understood the conclusion is wrong. Okay. So he said, he kept pestering. He said, okay, now, let me ask him to come. Let him recite the verse. So you know what he recited the poem and let me show you the verse exactly. In this same chapter only. Sakala Jeevare, Tino Haya, Antaryami, Jagat Pakala Tino, Jagatare Swami. Okay, read the verse. He is the super soul of all. Sorry, it's Adi. I'm going to go down here. So this is the poem he wrote, okay? I'll go to translation. The Supreme Personality Godhead has assumed a golden complexion and has come and has become the soul of the body named Jagannath, whose blooming lotus eyes are widely expanded. Thus, he appeared in Jagannath Puri and brought dull matter to life. May the Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Deva bestow good fortune upon you. Okay, all of you pay attention. What is wrong here?
Body and soul. Jagannath is the body and he was the soul. So you don't know that.
Oh, wait, wait a minute. Okay, so Vishamaru don't say. You will obviously get the answer, right? What is wrong here? So firstly, he is telling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the moving Jagannath. Jagannath is the wood, Daru Brahma who cannot move. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you are the moving Jagannath. Okay. So you are the soul of Jagannath, and so when you say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the soul of Jagannath, then Jagannath becomes what? The body. Is this correct conclusion of Shastra? What is the conclusion of Shastra? So what happens is, when he said that, everybody was Jai. Everybody was not understanding even the deeper meaning. Right? They commended the poem, but Swarup Damodar Goswami requested him kindly explain the verse. Okay. So he says, you explain. Poet says, Lord Jagannath is the most beautiful body and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exceptionally great owner of the body. So now there is a distinction. Why? The Prabhu said the answer again. If you say Jagannath is the body, then he is the dull matter. If you say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the soul, then he is just a small Jivatma occupying a body. So this conclusion is wrong. Right? So we go to the next verse. We'll see the. Saurabh Damodar was only very unhappy. So Saurabh Damodar has very sharp conclusion of the scriptures. He said, "You are a fool, you have brought ill fortune upon yourself, for you have no knowledge of the existence of the true lords of Jagannath and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you have no faith in them." Okay. Lord Jagannath is completely spiritual and full of transcendental bliss, but you have compared it to the dull, destructible body composed of inert, external energy of the Lord. This is mistake. Number one mistake. He is comparing Jagannath to dull matter, body. Number two, the next mistake he made was, you have calculated Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Personality Godhead, full of six opulence, to be level of ordinary living being. Instead of knowing him to be the Spirit Supreme Fire, you accepted him as the spark. You think that he is just Jiva. So this is a mistake. This is why the mistake comes. Because we don't have proper hearing of Sadhu Shastra Guru, we have not surrendered to a proper Vaishnava Acharya, you cannot understand the real Tattva. So he says that you have committed an offense to Jagannath and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you will attain the hellish destination. So this is one small mistake. We are talking about a bigger mistake like irreligion now. Jainism, Buddhism, which has totally different conclusion from the scriptures. Right? So he condemns him, but after that, this person asks for forgiveness, and then he instructs him. He instructs him that this is the verse. Ishvara. Okay, when again somewhere. How come I'm coming to CB now? Wait, so I'll show you the sloka. I-20. 121. 22. Ishvara Naika Budeha, Dehi Vedha, Sorupa Deha Chirananda Naika Viveda. There is no difference between the Lord's body and the Lord's soul. At no time there is distinction between the body and the soul of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His personal identity and his body are made of blissful spiritual energy. There is no distinction between them. This is the correct conclusion. Now there is a distinction between our body and the soul, right? But in the Supreme Lord there is no distinction. So then the Mayavadi philosophy again gets defeated here. Right? Because now you are saying you are one with God. Then why you are separate now? You should be. Why you have forgotten? Why you are separate? It's not logical. No? It's not as if the Lord, he took out his soul and then he put another place. Yeah, we all expansions of him, but we are a different Tatasya Shakti. We are not similar as him. If not, we should be same. We should be having a body which is spiritual now, right? Why we are now why we separated? So all these conclusions are again irreligion. Okay, so this is the various conclusions of today's topic. And again, like I was saying, the goal of Buddhism is again atheism. So now Saurabh Damodar is criticizing him. Right? This is not atheism also. This is a mistake of Siddhanta, Mayavad. So she's so angry, calling him Murka. Then if you say that everything will become zero, that is even more worse, right? In fact, who became very angry by hearing this? Lord Ram. Because if you go to Ramayana, Lord Ram has left Ayodhya, right? Following Dharma of the father's words. So all people came to ask him to come back. He was not listening. Bharat also came. Then after that, there was one of his gurus called Javali. Javali Satyakama. Right? Satyakama, the person who was a low caste, low born, but then he was accepted as a Brahman by Javali because he had the symptoms of Brahman. So Javali was also one of the gurus of course, the guru of the entire Ayodhya is Vashishta. And then there are various other rishis in the arena who also give advice on various topics to Dasarath. Javali was one of them. So Javali came, you know what Javali said? You know what Javali told to Sri Ram? Javali said, "My dear Lord Ram, what are you wasting time following the instructions of your father? Anyway, everything will become ashes. There is no existence of the soul after death. Just eat, sleep, be merry, be happy. Why are you wasting time going to this dharma, that dharma? There's no such thing as dharma. Everything is zero only. So Jambali was preaching now like Buddhist philosophy, like Jain philosophy. Okay, to Ram, to who? To the Supreme Lord who enacts the Supreme Dharma now. After saying all these things, Rama got so angry now. He said, "You, how dare you speak such nonsense to me? Huh? I'm ashamed that my father, I'm regretting and ashamed that my father actually hired you in our kingdom, and you're giving this kind of nonsense advice. He said, this is totally irreligion, adharma." And he was so angry and chastised him. He said, "I don't want to see your face." Then Jambali said, "I'm very sorry, my lord. I just wanted to convince you to not go. So I thought I was using this atheist philosophy of Charvak. The Charvak philosophy was there at that time already. So Lord says, if you want to speak something, you speak within the boundaries of Vedas. You go into adharma, how you will change my mind now?" He said, I cannot accept this. So Supreme Lord himself was angry. So these verses are there in Ramayana. But you know what the Buddhists say? These verses are interpolated. Rama was actually okay with that. After reading all the verses, you know how the Lord is angry with this. And then you're saying it's interpolated verses. If you go to Wikipedia, you'll see these verses are interpolated, they are right there. Interpolated means inserted by Vaishnavas. No, Rama was genuinely angry with this philosophy. Understand? So he rejected it, and then after that, Vishwamitra came and said, "Yes, please forgive him." Sorry, Vashishta said, "Forgive him." He's just trying to convince you. I'm not accepting this kind of argument. This kind of vada cannot be accepted. So we have to be always connected to sadhu, sastra, guru. If we deviate a little inch away, we will end up in irreligion sooner than later. Just one small deviation from the words of guru will go somewhere. Just like how they are deviating from the words activities of Sumati here. And then you are doing everything anyhow. So that's why again back to this Swarup Damodar example. Swarup Damodar Goswami says, "Bhagavata Padagya Bhagavata Sthani." You want to understand this, you must take shelter of that pure devotee who can teach you what is the highest dharma, who will teach you what is the highest good. Because every other thing that you learn is going to lead you to not the ultimate destination. You're not going to be satisfied. Because again, you are part and parcel of Krishna, you're meant to serve and love him. No other conclusions will help you. This, if you analyze Jainism, Buddhism, of course, Buddhism nowadays they are not following properly also, they are eating meat. Right? If you analyze them, they are taking a lot of the concepts, especially Jainism, a lot of concepts about renunciation. But let me ask you, is renunciation the goal of life? Huh? Renunciation is what? Is it the goal of life? What is the goal of life? What is the goal of life? What is that called? What is the goal of life? You don't know. Huh? Bhakti is the goal of life. Prema is the goal of life. So bhakti, when you do bhakti, natural renunciation comes. Right? Natural detachment comes. Detachment itself is not the goal. Knowledge itself is not the goal. When through bhakti, what is that? 1 2 12, right? You see? Yeah. Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Karma Mishra Bhakti, all this. So you see this. Yeah. So you see this verse. Takshradana Mayo Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya Pashyanti Atmani Satmanam Bhaktya Shruta Grihitya. Seriously inquisitive student, a sage well equipped with knowledge and passion realizes absolutely by rendering devotional service in terms of what you heard. So you see, you have to render devotional service bhakti through sadhu sastra guru. Shruti Smriti. It cannot be anyhow bhakti also. It must be based on scriptures. It must be based on sadhu and guru. Then what happens? That knowledge, jnana, vairagya comes as a byproduct. So when you see all these other religions, they are very focused on either they are focused on very much on jnana, they very much focus on mukti, like But Mahaprabhu said, Mukti is not a goal. The Jnanis want to go Mukti. We are not interested in that. Then they want to get a lot of power of renunciation. That is also not the goal. You see, let me tell you one story from Chaitanya Bhagavat. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, what happened? Before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did his Sankirtan outside. You know when was the first time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did his Sankirtan outside? Huh? No. When? What triggered Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come outside to do his Sankirtan? Chandkazi. Chandkazi activated the Sankirtan movement actually. Before that, at least for 1 year almost, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was only doing private kirtans in the house of Srivas Thakur. Sometimes, even Chandrasekhar Acharya also. So they were doing privately. Many people wanted to come and see. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not allow. He said, you don't have the purity to see this kirtan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually. Some people are pious, but they still cannot go in. Many people were impious. They were very angry. They said, "Oh, these people, they were cursing them. These people are so hungry. They are just shouting out of hunger." Then they started throwing food inside the house because they want to see the kirtan, but they are not qualified to see. Then there was this one brahmachari, who only eats fruits and milk. Most of the time, no fruit also, milk only. He lives on milk. Super renounced. He kept begging Srivas Thakur, "Please let me come and see. I am very." Of course, he didn't say he's pure. He's very humble. "Please let me see. Please let me see. I want to see the Lord. I want to behold His form. I want to see Him in the kirtan." Then Srivas Thakur one day gave in. He said, "Okay, you come in. I know you are a good person. Your intention is to understand Krishna. Your intention is to go towards Krishna Bhakti. You come and hide inside my house and you see the dance." So he hiding one corner. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started his Sankirtan, dancing with all devotees. Suddenly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt angry. He said, "I don't feel so nice ecstasy today because some non-devotee guy is here. I cannot reveal my emotions, my ecstasy now. Something is wrong. Who brought somebody and hiding that person?" Srivas Thakur understood. He knows, the Lord knows everything, right? Srivas Thakur came and said, "My dear Lord, I'm so sorry. Without a permission, I did this. But let me tell you, this person is so pure-hearted, he's so renounced, he only drinks milk." Then he said, "Do you think that a milk drinker can see my Sankirtan activities? Sankirtan is not for any milk drinkers here, okay? And he has not developed real bhakti, Krishna Prem and bhakti. He cannot come here. Qualification is not his renunciation. Qualification whether he has surrendered to a pure devotee and wanting to go towards Krishna Bhakti or not." So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised his renunciation also. So renunciation, not a big renunciation and knowledge. It doesn't lead you towards bhakti of Krishna, doesn't lead you towards humility of being humble. It's just like you have some, like a snake which has a gem in the head. You like that valuable gem, but you know not how to use it. Because if knowledge makes you very proud, you will fall down. If renunciation makes you very proud, you will fall down. Like Vishwamitra, how many times he fell down with renunciation? How many times he fell down? Renunciation was not the goal. And also Roma Harshana Sutta was so much knowledgeable, but Balaram killed him because he was proud, he was not standing up. So pride, real bhakti, when you develop real bhakti, with knowledge and detachment, they comes very naturally without any pride, with complete humility. With complete humility to develop love for Krishna and the devotees and serve the devotees. You understand? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately chastised Srivas Thakur. He said, "Ask him, get out." Then the brahmachari said, "I'm so sorry, I know I shouldn't be here. I only insisted. Please forgive me and give me the shelter of the lotus feet. I have seen something which has never seen in my whole life before. The ecstasy and the dance of the Lord cannot be seen by anyone of the tribal. I'm so fortunate to see this. So please forgive me for my offenses." And since he walked away. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, come back. He took his feet and put on his head. And this time he was completely purified. Completely in trance. Understand? So this is the mercy that we need. See Chaitanya Charane. Kripa Karosmi. Without Chaitanya, Yadi Gaur na hoy to tabeti hoy. We cannot, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will never come. We cannot understand. We cannot develop this humility. We cannot develop this bhakti. Nothing we can do. Even if you read Bhagavad Gita, you cannot develop bhakti easily. Because Krishna says, "You just gave Sarva Dharman, Manmana Bhava." Who taught you to do bhakti? Actually, the devotees of Krishna expanded only after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. If you analyze carefully, after Bhagavad Gita, how many devotees were there? After Dwapara Yuga, how many were there? Yeah, 12 alvars were there, right? But 12 alvars had to explain, had to bring. So you need a pure devotee itself. Krishna is, he needs somebody to give him a good review. That is a pure devotee. Now you buy something in Amazon or whatever, you are seeing the reviews, right? Similarly, the pure devotee comes to give the review. If I am the supplier itself, I come and say, I'm the best, does it mix? Who will listen to him? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the one who gave the highest bhakti. Unvata Ujjvala Rasa. So that is the path of religion. That's the part we have to take to. So the lesson here is always have to stick to the words of the spiritual master. Always have to stick shelter of the words of spiritual master and the Shastra. Then we develop that. If not, we will end up in the wrong way, following the wrong path, and then we waste a lot of time taking repeated birth and death. So, okay, we will stop here. Any question? Nine what? Madhya. Okay, wait, huh? 9. So there's another suggestion here by Mahaprabhu, Madhya 949, which explains how the Buddhist philosophy was Tarka Pradhana Bhauta Shastra Navamate Tarke Hi Kandila Prabhu Napade Stapite. How the Buddhist philosophy was dismantled. The scriptures of Buddhist cult are chiefly based on argument and logic, and they contain 9 chief principles. So, as we earlier discussed, Brahma, Pramada, Vipralipsa, Karana, Pata, the 4 defects happens in the argument and logic. How you can use argument and logic? So they have 9 chief principles. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defeated the Buddhists in their argument, they could not establish their cult. So how he was defeated? Okay, very good conclusion. We will read the purport. Bhakti Vinod Thakur states that according to Buddhist cult, there are 2 ways of understanding philosophy. One is called Hinayana and the other one is called Mahayana. Along with the Buddhist cult, there are 9 principles. The creation is eternal, therefore there is no need to accept a creator. This cosmic manifestation is false. Okay. I am is the truth. There is limitation, birth and death. Lord Buddha is the only source of understanding and truth. Principle of nirvana and annihilation is the ultimate goal. The philosophy of Buddha is the only philosophical path. The Vedas are compiled by human beings. So you see, again, he's going against Vedas. Pious activities, showing mercy to others, and so on are advice. No one can attain absolute truth by argument. One may be very expert in logic, and another person may be even more expert in art of argument. Because there is so much word of jugglery in logic, one cannot come to the real conclusion about the absolute truth by argument. The followers of the Vedic principles understand this. However, it seems that Sri Chaitanya defeated the Buddhist philosophy by argument. Those who are preachers in ISKCON will certainly meet many people who believe in intellectual argument. Most people do not believe in the authority of Vedas. Nevertheless, they accept intellectual speculation and argument. Therefore, preachers of Krishna consciousness should be prepared to defeat others by argument, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. In this verse, it says, Tatkei Kandila Prabhu. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put forward such a strong argument that Buddhists could not counter it to establish his cult. Okay, now we are coming to the part of the argument. Their first principle is that creation has always existed. But if this was the case, there could be no theory of annihilation. The Buddhists maintain that annihilation or dissolution of the highest truth is the highest truth. See? So logically, it was this method. If creation eternally exists, there is no question of dissolution or annihilation. So it should always exist. Why do you want to destroy it? Why do you want to? This argument is not very strong because by practical experience, we see the material things as beginning and middle and end. The ultimate aim of the Buddhist philosophy is to dissolve the body. This is proposed because the body has a beginning. Similarly, the entire cosmic manifestation is a gigantic body, but we accept that it always exists. There can be no question of annihilation. Therefore, attempt to annihilate everything in order to attain zero is absurdity. Means they themselves are defeating their first step. By our own practical experience, they accept the beginning of creation, and when we accept the beginning, we may accept the creator. When you say there is creation, there is creator. How did creation exist eternally without a creator? Such a creator must possess all pervasive body, as pointed out Bhagavad Gita, Sarvatra Panipadam, Sarvatra Shivamukha, Sarvatra Shruti Margoke, Sarvam Avratya Tishti. Everywhere are his hands, legs, eyes, heads, faces. He has ears everywhere. In this way, super soul exists, pervading everything. The Supreme Person must be present everywhere. His body exists before the creation, therefore, he could not be the creator. If the Supreme Person is created being, there can be no question of a creator. The conclusion is that the cosmic manifestation is certainly created at a certain time, and the creator exists before the creation. Therefore, the creator is not the creator being, the creator is Parabrahman, or the Supreme Spirit. Matter is not only subordinate to spirit, but is actually created on the basis of spirit. When spirit soul enters the womb of mother, body is created by material ingredients, supplied by the mother. Everything is created in the material world, and consequently there must be a creator who is the Supreme Spirit and who is distinct from matter. It is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that the material energy is inferior and that the spiritual energy is the living energy. Both inferior and superior energy belongs to the Supreme Person. So, our philosophy is we accept that the creation is eternal, but it's also temporary. It is Buddha Praliyate. But Mayavadi philosophy also says that everything, whatever you see, is just illusion. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Is false. But it's not false. Anything that comes from the Lord is true only, but it can be temporary. Okay? So the Buddhists argue that the world is false, but that is not valid. The world is temporary, but it is not false. See? As long as we have body, we must suffer pleasures and pain of the body, even though we are not the body. We may not take pleasures and pain seriously, but they are factual nonetheless. We cannot actually say that they are false. If the bodily pains and pleasures are false, the creation would be false also. Consequently, no one would take very much interest in it. The conclusion is that the material creation is not false imaginary, but temporary. So, now we come to the second point. This purport is super long. Yeah, I think it's very. Yeah. So, take note of this verse, Madhya 9:49. Go through the entire. Because there's nine points to be defeated here. Yeah, actually, I have to go to the original source of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Then, explain the see on there. Actually, it's not so long. It means that all 9 points are not covered. Oh, yeah, actually, it's covered. Yeah, it's covered. So, you can go and read this 9:49. So, any other points, questions? One person asks, what is one thing Krishna wants from us he doesn't have? So Krishna has everything. Krishna is Purna, complete, Purna Brahma Sanatana. He doesn't need anything from us. He's Atmara, completely satisfied. Right? So he doesn't need anything from us, but we need his association, we need his connection. Nothing exists outside of him. Everything, Krish means what? Everything is, the word Krishna itself we can see. The word Krish actually means all existence is situated in him only. Everything is Janani Vas, everything is resting in him only. So we may think we need him actually. Even now we are using him only, but we are using him in a indirect way. But actually everything is his energy only. So he has everything. What he wants from us is our bhakti, our love. Even though he is complete, he doesn't need it. It is for our benefit. Right? It's the benefit of the child to be obedient to the parents. If the child becomes disobedient parents, he can get in a lot of trouble. Right? So right now we are in a lot of trouble in the material world. Okay. So anything else? Nothing else. So we will stop. Yeah. Bhashan, consider Bhashan. Yeah. Yes. This Ravi Teja didn't come today. He was asking a lot of questions regarding Buddhism. Jai Grandraj Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah.